This short video is going to share with you whether you want to buy a home in an HOA or not in an HOA. And that's how I'm going to term it through this video. Now, there are several reasons you might not want to get into an HOA. Those are pretty personal. I'm going to share those with you, but I'm also going to share some questions you'd never thought to ask. So here goes. I'm Stuart Sutton at Georgetown, Texas Real Estate. Let's jump in and show you what HOAs can do for you and what not being in an HOA can do for you. First of all, chickens have become very popular. A lot of people want to have chickens. If you want chickens, you probably shouldn't be in an HOA. Are there people who live in HOAs who have chickens? Probably, but they're not supposed to. I've seen people ask to remove their chickens when they thought they were going to get to keep them. So be sure you see anything in writing. Don't just take verbal commitments. If you want chickens in Georgetown and you're not in an HOA, the city does allow it. There are some regulations, but they're not too strict. You can follow those and have your chickens. And some people really like the idea of keeping their boat or their RV on their own property rather than renting space for them. Now, again, very rare that you can do that in an HOA. Sometimes you can if you keep it in, for example, an enclosure or behind fences so it's not visible. But in the city of Georgetown, if you're not in an HOA, you do have some regulations you still have to follow. But again, they're not real strict. And just while I'm pointing this out, we have 3 levels that we're dealing with here: HOA restrictions, city restrictions, and then deed restrictions. So you could end up out of the city and not in an HOA. And deed restrictions might disallow something you want to do. So it's important to follow and read the documentation that's appropriate to the property you're interested in. Some people would like workshop space outside of just having space in their garage. So building a workshop is important to some people. Not many HOAs allow that. Some do. If you're in an HOA and you have space to build a workshop, you might have to build it according to the specifications of the HOA, which is more than likely the same type of construction material as your home. That can push the cost up quite a bit, but some people do think it's worth it, and I've seen a few of those. But if you want to build the kind of workshop you want to build without restrictions, you don't want to be in an HOA. Another very popular personal decision is whether to have an ADU. Yeah, that's a realtor acronym. We have lots of those. ADU is additional dwelling unit, better known as a guest house or a casita. If you'd like a guest house or a casita and you have the space for it, a large enough lot, most HOAs disallow that. There are some that will allow it under certain guidelines, especially HOAs on homes on an acre or more. And there are a few of those around the Georgetown, Texas area. If you're in the city and not in an HOA, you can add an ADU with Georgetown city permission. And it's not as difficult as you might think. Now we're going to cover some things you may not have thought about. What about market statistics for homes in HOAs or not in HOAs? Well, the supply of homes in HOAs and not in HOAs is similar, about a little over 5 months. Now that doesn't mean there's the same number because there are quite a few more homes in HOAs than not in HOAs. But the sales supply is about the same. There's a little over a 5-month supply in each category. And here's something you probably didn't expect. You can get a little more house for your money in an HOA, $212 a foot versus $247 a foot for a home not in an HOA. That just means you're going to pay a little more per foot for a home not in an HOA. The compensating factor is probably that you get a little bit of land with that, whether it's 1/3 of an acre or half or an acre. Bottom line is the price per square foot will go up a little bit since you're paying a little extra for the land. But the result is the same. You get a little less house if you're not in an HOA than you do for the same price when you buy in an HOA. And this kind of follows. The average price for a home in an HOA is a little less than a home not in an HOA. So again, you'll get a little more house for your dollar if you buy in an HOA. Now this one's kind of interesting and really sort of out in left field. Homes with no HOAs sell considerably faster than homes in HOAs. Quite a bit faster, as a matter of fact. Now, the reason I think that is because there are fewer homes not in HOAs. So when someone spots one where they can have chickens or park their boat or build a workshop or whatever, they tend to go after it. So those homes tend to sell a little faster than homes in HOAs. There's just more abundant number of them for sale in HOAs. Now, this one might be a surprise to you. I think it is to most people. Homes in HOAs over the last 5 years have seen a higher increase in average price compared to non-HOAs. So what this really means is pretty straightforward. If you spent the same price, a median price, 5 years ago on an HOA versus a non-HOA, you'd have an extra $28,000 or so in equity. So it really comes to the balance, the personal decision. Would you rather have the equity or would you rather have the freedom? Chickens and RV and boat or whatever you'd like to do versus an HOA where you can't do those things, but your average price might go up a little bit better. Again, personal decision, I mentioned that earlier. If you like this video, do hit that like button. I would appreciate it. It helps me out with YouTube. And subscribe if you'd like to see more videos about Georgetown, Texas real estate. Even if you're not moving here, we put out videos that are helpful to people no matter where they're moving or where they live. But if you live in Georgetown or plan to move to Georgetown, these videos should be very helpful to you. I did throw another video up here, by the way. This is the 3 ratios you absolutely need to know when you're buying a home. This video is going to be helpful because guess what? Nobody else is going to share these with you. If you're moving to Georgetown, Texas, we can certainly help you. My information's up there. Call or text if I can help. And in the description below is a link, and I'm putting it up there right now, where you can get a Georgetown, Texas real estate update every single week. Our clients love it because it's more than a real estate update. Thanks for watching, and remember, it's your choice, so make it a powerful day.